is giving something to somebody that they don't know they need, that you know they need, but yet you don't want to give it, and in doing so, you give up your rights of justice. See, we all got these ideas of justice. A person's done you wrong. A person's done this. A person's done that. God will judge you. God said that, done that, all these things like that. Again, when we say that right there, you realize that is another view that is antagonistic towards Christianity. When we give charity, it's quite one thing to, if you believe in going down the road and you got somebody on the side of the road and you want to handle money, then handle money, go for it. That's your choice. I'm not going to condemn you, or I'm not going to justify how I feel. This is your feeling. If that's what you feel like in your version of charity, then do it. I know a person, and this is how they say it. They say that is, I give them that, it's now upon them to make it. It was laid upon my heart. Okay, if it was laid upon your heart and you're doing it, okay, I'm not going to condemn you. I'm not going to judge you. I know how I feel. I'm not going to tell you how, because the thing is that unless they ask, they don't want your opinion. I mean, let me ask you a question. Now you're wanting what? Let me tell you something, man. This is how I feel. You didn't ask my opinion. When we're looking at these, but it says, but he that lacketh these things is blind, and cannot see afar off, and hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. So in other words, if we lack these tools right here, you forgot. Years ago, I told you the story about my fasting and going through a serious process of being purged and all that bullcrap, and all the visions of it and where I wanted to be. And I remember this friend coming back up to me, and he says, "Hey, Monty, your enemy's coming back. And this time he's going to kill you. He's going to try his best to kill you." Great news, man. Appreciate that. Thanks. God, why? Why, God, would you do this? Why would you bring me back to their area? Why do I have to go back into that environment? I'm free from that environment. God, I've had it all my life. Why do I got to go back into it? He says, because I don't want you to ever forget what it's like to have an addiction. Okay, I get that. We forget that people have addictions, they have weaknesses, that they're people just like us. We're all flawed. Foolishness is trying to fix somebody else. It's just like expectations. The worst thing you can ever put upon anybody is an expectation. Because if you can't live up to your own expectations, well, I should know better. Yeah, you should, but you don't. I'm going to study harder. I think I need to start studying harder. God's calling me this. God, when? But before I can sit here and judge someone else for their lack of action or lack of faith or lack of studying, I can't condemn you because I don't study AJ near as much as I think I should study. I'm human. We're all stupid. It's our inherent nature, Dory, to be stupid. And it's even more stupid when we start condemning somebody else for being stupid. Because we think that if we can put their stupidness on a pedestal, it's the prison mentality. If I can make somebody else look bad, it makes me look what? Better. So we're all trying to do it. I watched a guy the other day that's really funny. He says, this person that you think that I am is a role. And he talked about the illusion of the role. This persona that you have created of your life is a role that you've chosen to play and to carry out your thing. That is why your real nature is antagonistic to the role that you're playing, because the role that you're playing is a false person. This person doesn't exist except in your mind. I'm tough. I'm this. I'm that. This is how it's going to be. I'm this. I'm that. You fill these roles, but in reality, your inside man, you want to do something that is opposite to the person you're inside. So if you feel weak inside, what do you make your role as? Strong. If you feel insecure inside, what do you feel? If you decide Chris is guilty, you know you're guilty inside, what do? You start portraying your godliness. Start showing how good of a person you are. Whatever you're demonstrating outside, whatever is controlling you, is antagonistic again to that inner man. Because the Bible talks about there's a war going inside of me. And that war is the things that he wants to do, that he knows he should be doing, he don't do them. But the things that he don't want to do, these are the things. So now we've got all the tools. We've got all the tools. We've been given a blueprint with which to work. And it encompasses basically just about 2 verses. No, 3. 4. If we would follow the directions, do you see anywhere in here that it says that you should go on the street corner and preach to somebody? Do you see anywhere it says that we should argue our faith? This is why. What about condemnation of somebody else and their beliefs? Do you see that anywhere on these things? It says that if we'll follow these 9 things right here, if we just stick to these 9 ideas and start filtering everything that we do, this is what we're going to have to do to build a resolute life, to accomplish something in our life. That way, at the end of all of this, if by chance there is no God, if by chance this has all been an illusion, if I would give it to people, maybe you might be right. But again, I would rather live a life by these virtues. And at the end of it, okay, than to discard all these things and then to come out and then all of a sudden you find out accidentally that it is all real. What you have to ask yourself, if you would take a barometer and you got pressure. You've got an indication of the barometric pressure pushing down. Ask yourself within this thing, where would be your faith when I say this? I say faith, I say an encompassing ideal of all these things. Well, your growth might be a better thing. Where are you at on the chart of growth? Are you growing? Are you increasing? Or have you hit a stop? We've all had friends. We've got relations. And the relation starts developing, Don, and you're kind of getting to where, yeah, okay, I can trust this person, or I'm kind of getting along with this person. And all of a sudden, something changes within that person. You ever felt that? That something changes? And from that point forward, it's like, it kind of branches off, doesn't it? And you're going to say, what happened? They just disappeared. Or something, what changed? Huh?
You see that here a lot.
Yeah. You'll see somebody, they'll start growing. And they fail to understand the minute you start growing, already told Beth, said, understand, now the fight starts. You don't sign up for the fight. You just don't think you signed up for the fight. But I see so many people, and I've seen so many people come in here and they start growing, and all of a sudden, one day, something happens and they're derailed. Why are they derailed? And I usually notice it by a person that you'll start to see them tapering off. Less and less and less. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it 1,000 more times. I have no intention. It's like I pick on Artie. The thing is, I don't like to, because he's one of my heroes. Seriously, he's always been. I love the man. If I've got, want to listen to somebody, I'm going to call him. Y'all didn't catch that, did you? But seriously, he's one of the few people that I will spend any time around. He's one of the few people that I will spend any time, a measure of time around, if I just want time. I love the man for that. I love him deeply. Whenever there is a derailment, it usually derails at an offense. And if I've offended you, I've always loved my relationship with Carrie. Because Carrie could come up to me and she'd say, Monty, you said this, or this is wrong, that this offends me. Okay, tell me. If I've said something wrong, tell me. People say, well, Monty, you're not afraid to do anything. Well, I'm not. They say, well, you're not afraid. I said, no, I'm not afraid of failure. I understand failure very well. Me and failure, we're best of friends. It's kind of like work. I have no problem with work. I can lay right down beside somebody working and take a nap and not even bother me. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. And I'll tell you why I'm afraid of success. I am afraid, and I've always been afraid. It's one of the reasons why I kind of always just kind of comb my hair. I don't care. The thing is that I am not going to put on a front up here. Because I have this fear. Because a long time ago, a person prophesied over me. Oh man, God's going to bless you and you're going to have a big church. What preacher does not want that? What preacher, Artie, does not want a job where he can make stupid money and get up here and talk for an hour and then go home the rest of the week and do nothing? Put me in, coach. No, absolutely not. Number one, I don't like a bunch of people. Nothing personal. I don't like a bunch of y'all. I love you. Difference. I don't like a bunch of my grandkids. I love my grandkids. Everyone said, y'all got to go last night. My grandkids are over there. I love my grandkids. They're hungry. I said, get off your butt and make it yourself. I'm an introvert. It's hard for me to trust people, but my great fear is if I became successful as a preacher and our church started growing and we had all these things, I've known a ton of preachers through their successes lost God. Lost God. TV is full of preachers who have lost God. Joel Osteen did not start out at the man he is now. Success took him down that road. So many preachers started out as one thing, and then their success, AJ, turned them. They lost that. They lost all of these things right here. And then it says right there, they've forgotten what they once were. Myself, I know I do not need a big church. I don't know. That scares the snot out of me. It scares the snot out of me that I would have to get up here and do a sermon on tithing. Because my sermons was intended or designed around tithing. If you don't want to tithe, don't tithe. I am not going to beat you up over it. We just won't have things like a roof. I'm okay with that. Y'all okay with that? I'm okay with that. Until I have to stand before God and give an account. Did you tell him? Did you warn him? Yes. He says, wherefore, verse 12, I will not be diligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though you know them and be established in their present truth. Even though you know them, he says, even though you know them, I will not be negligent in telling you the truth. I won't be negligent in telling you or calling you beyond this place. He's not going to stand in front of me, because that's my other problem, that I don't want a bunch of people, Zeke, because the more people we have in this church, the more people I'm accountable for. I don't want it.
But if you look at success, it's when Moses led the people to the promised land and they sent the scouts over there. And those scouts came back and said, no, this is no bueno. Because everything
Yeah.
You don't have to want for another. And do they would forget God?
Exactly. See, I'd rather have need. Give me need. Was it Solomon said? He said, Lord, neither make me